Hi, good evening. I hope you are having a really good day. And here is the next part of enlightenment of my journey. This one, I'm going to go back a little bit back to when I was a young little girl. Yes, I want you to see how my life prepared me for what was to come. My avis was really really abrupt, it kind of like enlightenment was shaken up of me. And although I got enlightened before, that was the biggest transformation that I went through. I didn't want to go through it. Honestly, I'm serious. I wanted to give up. It was far too. I mean, suddenly every single figure was put in front of me, um, and if I hadn't gone through an experience of being in hospitals and being severely disabled for a while and very unwell and having depression and anxiety and overcoming that, I couldn't have been able to do that, if you know what I mean. So I'm grateful that I went for something worse that required more strength. So I was ready for that. But then if I look back at my life from early age, I was so prepared. Part of my integration of archetypes or parts, aspects, um, happened through the dreams. That's how I overcame depression and anxiety. I integrated, didn't know the record at that time. So the dream world is extremely important. Remember, awake, asleep is the same. We're all asleep, spiritually dead, till we awakened. So being able to wake up in a dream, a lucid dream, is something that I want to do a video about. Is how you start. It's easier that if you start through the dream world. And sometimes through the records that I do, the Gary Flynn Show Me a Way, where you can begin the awakening through starting through the dream world. So that my clients begin to dream, and then we interpret and see where they are. I think it's beautiful to do this. So when I was very young, I had lots of dream, prophetic, vivid, every single kind of dream, and I loved them. I couldn't wait to go to sleep. When I was very little, I used to share the room with my sister till I grew up a little bit, and then I refused. I went to a tantrum, and they put me on the. They had to convert the storage room. It was big into a bedroom just to keep me quiet. But I needed my peace and quiet, and my sister was into celebrities, music, dresses, makeup, and I couldn't handle that. But while I was sleeping next to her, I had the same recurrent dream where I would go to sleep and suddenly I could turn around and my sister was in a skeleton, she was dead. And then I would wake up and I thought, oh, a nightmare, having a nightmare about this. And then another one where my mom also, a similar experience where she would have died. I never dreamt about anybody else dying, that just my sister, but constantly my sister. And I was very scopy to turn around and then boom, a skeleton would show up on top of the bed, not my sister. Obviously, later on, when I went into the world of the subconscious, the superconscious, like Carl Jung calls the collective unconscious or the subconscious, and I began to interpret the symbolisms of the dreams. I realized that they were just being indicating me. They were projections. They were not real. I was just projecting my shadow on them. The wrong instructions were on them. I was just battling them constantly. And um, from very young age, I was told the truth. I just didn't understand what it meant. Um, so also something I was very drawn, and I was such a good girl. I was on my own little world, but I was drawn to was watching scary movies and not being scared. It's like I was drawn to master my fears, and being very young, possibly about 9 years old, I used to go to video shops and just get every evening um, scary movies. So when my parents went to sleep, I would just watch them. I don't know how on earth I got away. I suppose because they knew my parents and they thought that the movie was for my parents. But I managed to get really scary movies. And at the beginning, I was scared. But then I learned psychology. I noticed how they began to make you impatient, how the music played a very important part, the vibrations, the expectation that something scary is going to come. And I began to not be in the movie and begin to observe it, and then I began to laugh, and I thought it's just a movie. So I remember the last scary movie I watched just with that intention of not being scared. My sister was there, and we watched The Exorcist. I mean, she was white; she just couldn't handle it, and I was just in stitches. I couldn't believe. I said, "How can a human mind actually come up with something like this?" I mean, when I saw the little girl being possessed by a demon and just swearing at the priest and the mother, I mean, the kind of swear words, I wasn't used to that, and then throwing up on them, constantly having to clean themselves. And then when they had the spin, I thought it was funny. My sister couldn't see it from my point of view. And then there come the time that for some reason I felt drawn to the video shop, and there was this new movie that came out, so I'll try it. And my goodness, I wish I hadn't. That movie got banned the day after in many countries for being really, really scary, and wasn't suitable even for 18s. It was The Evil Dead. So then I went, just without my cat and just myself there in the nighttime, ready to have a laugh. And oh my God, I did watch the whole movie. But I got really, really scared. So I realized I still not quite just master my fears, but I did watch the movie, so I was pleased. My intention was not to let fear allow me to not to watch the movie. So it was really I had to go to the kitchen, get my dog and my cat, and then go to my bed, and that was quite hard. I was like really scared. um, and then later in life, when I grew up, I didn't see those dreams and nightmares. I knew they were giving me messages, and I integrated everything, and it's a journey because I had the same dream. It's basically the same way that in our current reality, our life continues from day to day. It's different or looks different. In my dreams, it continues, not like it was a new dream. It continues. I integrated all the archetypes, and then I realized that the archetypes were or the parts or subparts were not actually just in my dream. They were all characters of my reality, and I should stop battling with them and integrate them. Um, and that was such an amazing learning to begin to integrate them, and see how that those things that I thought it was a disease, that those leftovers from the surgery, that anxiety, depression, stomach pains, inflammation, bleeding, um, begin to just was gone in a split second. It's like that as soon as you integrate. So obviously I had more to integrate, I had more to learn, and as I say, it's a journey. People tend to be impatient to get there, but as long as you're alive, you're going through it. So I was used to, my coaches used to say to me, you're too impatient, Amor, and this is not good for you. You're just too impatient, and you just want to know everything. You have to wish. Be careful what you wish for, because God, the source will grant you if you want to know everything, but you might be best not to know it. Now I understand what they said that, but regardless of that, I'm glad I know now. I'm glad I know, regardless of how difficult it was to bear. So anyway, I shall see you in the next video. I hope you enjoy it. Unconditionally love you, and thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.